Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
Okay.
Hello. Don't say okay when I'm doing my introduction, for goodness sake. That was the producer who's now on the... She's on the podcast.
Do you know she's been creeping in more and more?
Yeah, well, a lot of these producers...
Yeah.
I blame Chris Evans in the TFI days. He used to get the producer and they became a bit of a character on it. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's Naked Ambition's not an attractive
No.
thing.
No, I think...
days are over. Sorry, that was a bit of a...
I don't know what that meant.
No.
I'm all right with it, though. I don't need to know. There's lots of things on this. The stuff I say, which
Yeah.
I don't fully comprehend.
Oh, yeah.
You just accept that now. Yeah. So welcome to the Absolute Podcast Frank Skinner thing. What has it got a title?
Well, I don't know, but we've been doing it a year, Frank, and you still haven't established that.
We've been doing
it's
it
quite
for
poor.
50 weeks, I think, to be precise.
Nearly a year.
Frank Skinner's Absolute Radio Show podcast.
Yes.
That's
That it?
good.
Frank Skinner's Absolute... Yeah. Welcome to Frank Skinner's Absolute Radio Show podcast. I'm here with Emily and Gareth, and we were just sitting here chewing the fat about today's show. You can imagine the fun we've had. And we had... the guest today was Ben Miller, and I must say he was absolutely marvellous.
Oh, I loved
very
Ben Miller.
nice.
Such a
Don't
funny
we?
man and nice, and he's smartly dressed, clean. Because people come in, sometimes they just come in their pyjamas.
He looked
on this show.
amazing.
Did he look amazing?
Yeah, I think he did.
I don't feel able to judge him in that capacity.
Okay.
Would you say he was a handsome man?
Yes, I would.
You see, I liked him when he had the short peroxide blonde hair.
Did he have that?
Yeah.
No, he was
Oh, I'd forgotten
Johnny
that.
Lee Miller. You're thinking of Johnny.
No,
Lee.
No, you're thinking of Billy Idol.
No, he had very short peroxide... When he was in Eurythmics, he had that... Oh, no, it wasn't. No, he did. He used to have short... When I first met him, he had short peroxide blonde hair. He was much more rock and roll. Now he's a bit more Diary of an Edwardian Lady. I imagine him inspecting his trout farm now. But that wasn't a euphemism, if anyone's thinking, it was, because it wasn't. So that creaking, by the way, is my chair. Don't panic about it. Everything's going to be all right. If you're sitting listening to this... a lot of people listen on the train, apparently, to this.
We get a lot of train listeners.
If you're listening to this on the train now, I want you to look around all the people around you, and I want you to ask yourself, which one of them is most likely to have killed someone and hidden the fact? I think usually wherever you are on a train, you see someone who you could well believe has killed. Maybe they were married in Australia and they killed the wife and then fled over here. And so just see if you can spot who that is.
Because out of us three, can I be honest, it's you, Gar. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry,
was thinking
Gareth.
that.
You are the one who I would look at and
Well,
think
that's the
you killed me.
spectacles.
I know.
I think spectacles, it's a toss of a coin between librarian and murderer. I've always thought that.
And this knife I carry around dripping with blood, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, well, I thought that was
So
given
I
to you
should
by your
wipe that.
friend Raymond Blanc. That's what I thought. I thought he'd been in a bit of butchery and said, hey, Gareth.
Oh, yeah, you can hear Gareth talking about all his showbiz friends like Raymond Blanc.
Oh, name drop. It's name drop central with Gareth
Who
today.
was in the programme? Great
And I
Chefs?
might mention briefly the BAFTAs.
And I
what
might
happened- what
mention about the fact that I'm the patron of the Vesta Tilley Society, which is based in Worcester.
Vesta Tilley.
Vesta Tilley was a woman who used to do impressions of men in the music hall.
Oh.
Get over it.
Do your big go go!
Well, we have to begin, I think, with will Wayne Bridge shake hands with John Terry?
I
I
know.
haven't been able to sleep tonight thinking about that.
You'll be able to sleep tonight because it will have already happened.
The Sun have mocked up a picture of how it might look if they shake hands.
Yes, because we'd like to know.
Which was helpful, because we couldn't possibly envisage that in any other way.
The trouble is with footballers, they're so unimaginative. Clearly, what Wayne Bridge should do is get one of those hand buzzers from a joke shop, which would be like the best way to defuse the whole situation. Just, he's going to shake, and just see John Terry wince and be a bit humiliated.
Or a giant gladiator's foam hand. That's what I do.
I
Yeah.
think he might pick up on that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you could do that. You could do the false hand.
Yeah.
You could do the, the last minute thumbing of the nose. That'd bring the house down. But instead, he'll just look a bit sullen. I suspect he'll look a bit sullen, and John Terry will just walk past, and the crowd will go, ooh.
Oh.
I hope the crowd really build it up, so when it comes to their
So
hands,
do
they're
I.
going, whoa.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm quite excited about it. I want to know what happens.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll be watching, don't you worry.
Well, I'll be probably listening to it on the radio. That'll be a really good way of experiencing the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have... on the radio, why do they bother going to the games? Why don't they just sit and just tell you what's happening? And then you'd just believe them anyway. I'd put in bogus goals. I'd put at least 2 goals a game that didn't happen. I was a radio commentator. 1 sending off. And maybe a small fire, maybe in the press room. I'd add, just as a bit of background. Sorry if I'm joking, I've just been a bit of a fire in the press room. Who'd know? Easy. So, you had a bit of a fancy night out, didn't you, madam, this week? Hey, madam, hey, you had a fancy night out, didn't you? Hey, didn't you?
You turned into your ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, yeah. I haven't got that yet.
I might have gone to the BAFTAs. Did you two go?
I watched it on the telly.
Oh,
Yeah,
extraordinary.
I did.
Extraordinary.
Anyway, I went to the BAFTAs. Oh, my God, it was amazing, guys. It was so good. I did the radio. I thought Ben Jones was going from Absolute Radio.
Ben
He told
Jones
me
from
he
Absolute
was.
Radio follows us at 10 o'clock this morning. There you go, I've clogged the man.
He told me he was going, but I didn't see
You
him.
didn't see him?
No, I think we might have been in separate areas. That's a good way of putting it, isn't it?
Were you separated by a velvet rope?
Well, I was on table 1, that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
I don't know which one he was on.
I think he was on car park 4. But Ben is we meet Ben when we close the show. Ben he's coming in and he's a lovely chap.
Oh, I love Ben.
I mean, he wears a baseball cap, but everyone has a flaw. Othello was jealous. King Lear still wanted to maintain some sort of power, having given up the responsibility of power. Macbeth was very ambitious. Ben wears a baseball cap, and it's a bit Pride of Britain, that, for me. But anyway,
I don't know if he wore it at the BAFTAs. Anyway.
I bet he did.
Oh.
I've never seen him without it.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that there's no top on his head. That's my theory. He's like an egg cup.
He was a judge, though. He told me he was a judge.
Well, now, I'd like to get to the bottom of this, because there's an orange, right? They sponsored the new... Was it called the New Face? Or something like
Orange
that?
New Face or something.
Orange New Face. There's Cat Dealey in that. And anyway, so Ben told us last week, he said, I'm there because I was one of the judges for that. And I was quite impressed by that. So I watched the BAFTAs and public vote. Now, OK, he might have voted in the public vote, which makes him a judge of some kind, but that means that I was a judge in the last general election.
Well, you were.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't tell people that. That's like saying I was a judge on Let's Dance for Sport. Oh, no, I was a judge on that. But, yeah, he was telling us he was the... I imagine him, sitting in some room somewhere at the BAFTA place at Piccadilly, maybe in robes of some kind, with a gavel.
Instead, he was ringing in on 0891.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's built the whole thing.
Oh, he's built his part up.
So that would explain it. Well, told me he was a judge on Britain's Got Talent as well. I thought I hadn't spotted it. He said he was a judge 3 weeks on the row. At 40 pence minimum, I think it said it cost him. Yeah, and I think he said he had to tell the person who paid the bill before he was a judge. I don't make any sense at all.
Absolute Radio.
We're just talking about the BAFTAs, which Emily actually went to. Me and Gareth just watched it on telly. Did you watch it on telly?
I did watch it on telly, yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what surprised me, just from watching it on telly, obviously it's not the same as being there.
No, let's hear about what it felt like on telly.
Well,
It's much more interesting.
What you're doing, you're getting a lot of professional actors going up on stage. I mean, people at the very top of the acting profession.
Yeah.
Stars, acting stars, you're getting up there. And then this is the ones who present the awards.
Yeah.
Big names. And they come up and say, the art of the director is a mysterious... And I think, what is it's like a... It's like a child read. You know when you give a child a bit of cardboard and they're going, Janet and John went over a hill. Like a 5-year-old child.
Well, I've got the inside
Do
info
they still
on
read
that.
Janet and John? Am I shouting myself to be a little out of date?
It's not 1953. They don't. But
Also, they don't read age 5 now. I think it's about 15 they get to that stage.
the auto cue was too small. They couldn't read it. That's why they were reading it badly.
They can't act. These people, put them in front of an audience. They're all very well on a film set where they can do it 20 times. But put them in front of an audience, they're just snivelling posh people going, the art of the... Just get off the stage.
Jealous much? Now,
I'm not. Am I jealous of Vanessa Redgrave? Am I jealous of someone who seemed to cut their speech into lines and put it into a bag and then draw them out one at a time and just say random things. Am I jealous of that?
That was mental. Yeah. My father once took me to get an ice cream. I like strawberries. I had a
Yes, and I
Malteser
watched
once.
the television the other day. Winston Churchill was in charge of this country during the Second World War. Reading 3, West Bromwich Albion 2. New York, that's a beautiful city. I mean, what, are you all right, Vanessa?
Then
No,
she-
I'm not all right.
Then she said, as Rosalind says in As You Like It, thank you, BAFTA. I don't remember her saying that in As You Like It.
That was probably two bits of paper stuck together. I mean, she knelt in front of the Prince William. The Prince William. Is that what you call him? I'm calling him the Prince William. Why not?
Is it a pub now?
Yeah, I've knelt in front of a few pops in my time. But, you know, I didn't like it when she knelt in front of him. I thought she was going to take the thank you a stage too far. That's what I thought. I thought she might end up with an hair in her mouth.
Oh.
But,
Anyway,
no,
my
she was-
dress.
Oh, sorry, your dress, yes, of
Oh,
course.
it was amazing.
What make was he?
Well, it was a designer called Alessandra Rich. It's too expensive for me because I've got champagne taste but beer money. I won't lie, that's the truth.
Okay.
So, I have friends in high places, so it was lent to me. I
Right.
couldn't have afforded it. It cost about £5,000. It was amazing.
You wore a £5,000 dress?
I might have.
Oh, I hope you put a napkin over yourself when you had the chicken. They always have chicken at that. I've never been to one of those things when there isn't chicken.
Or ribs.
Oh no, beef medallions we had.
Beef medallions?
Yeah.
You couldn't wear one of them with a dress like that.
Very greasy.
I would love to have gone up. If I'd won a BAFTA, I'd go up wearing a beef medallion. Why not? I'm surprised Vanessa didn't. Let's face
Well,
everything else could have
exactly.
happened. I'm surprised she didn't wear the whole dinner.
So I worked the red carpet, waved to the people behind the crash barriers like a journalist I know. I went, "Hi, what are you doing here?"
What you meant was, what are you doing there? The other side of the rope. I'm glad you had a fabulous night.
I did, but I did have an incident, Frank.
Oh, well, look, we've got to play some adverts.
Okay.
I think we can hold ourselves on the... I really want to know now what
Okay.
it was. Oh, God. See, I went for the wrong button, then.
Oh,
I went for the button that destroys Wiltshire. I don't know if you know, we have that here. We have a missile trained on Wiltshire.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's some sort of grudge by the owners. I don't understand it, but it's a big thing saying, no, don't press this unless you're on an anti-Wiltshire thing. And by God, I nearly took out. Well, at least Stonehenge would have been. That would have just been like rocks lying around, facing various directions, and. Oh.
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily and Gareth, and
we've had some texts in, Frank. Now, my favourite one is from Steve in Herne Bay, who says, "I just thought I'd let you know I got my hair cut this week, and one of my friends noticed and said, 'It's a bit Frank Skinner.' I was made up."
what you made up as Frankenstein. No, I
What's
don't know
a
what
Frank
that
Skinner?
means.
Well, exactly.
Is it rhyming slang? Does it mean it's getting thinner? Is that what he's
it
saying?
might do.
Because I know it is. It's in the official rhyming slang dictionary for dinner. Frank Skinner. Yeah. What about that?
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what it means by that. Does it mean... Because I've gone ahead like a light bulb.
Do you know I just went, I didn't contradict you there, note.
Or for any old Dan Dare fans, I look... When I comb my hair right back, I look like the Mekon. Trust me.
Sometimes I look at you and I think you've had an idea.
Yeah.
But it's just... your
No, you
head.
think my throat has had an idea. Yeah, and because I've got my big light bulb swollen. I mean, enormous brain. I'm enormous. A brain like the great buttock of an ox. That's what I've got. I'm stuck with it. What can you do? So it needs warehousing. Hence the mighty cranium. Is that explained?
Hence the mighty cranium.
Thank you. I like the way you slightly immortalised that
I like
phrase.
that.
Yeah. Oh, you like this, you like that, you like everything. That's your trouble. So, any other texts?
Well, we had another text in, actually, that came in during the week. Do you remember we were talking about people getting phrases wrong? It was to do
Well, we
with...
were talking about my girlfriend getting
Well, we
phrases
were,
wrong.
actually. You're GF.
Yes.
And Joanne Hemingway has texted in saying, my boyfriend...
Joanne Hemingway, I'm liking the name.
I don't know if it's any relation to Ernest. I hope it is.
I'm hoping it's a relation to Wayne. Carry on.
My boyfriend sounds like your girlfriend. Last week he was so frustrated with someone not listening to him, he said he'd had to keep repeating himself until he was blue in the teeth.
I'm liking it. See, I'm loving it. There isn't enough of that going on.
I know.
It's a difficult thing, the English language. I think we all admit that. Oh, Gareth's poised to read.
We had some other ones. From Carl Morton. He said some things happened to him.
Where's he from?
Morton.
Oh.
No, that's his surname. I don't know where he's from.
Okay.
He says, myself and friends were talking, and I said, imagine how bad it would be to be eaten by an animal.
I love that people sit around talking about stuff like that. I mean, there's major political upheavals going on in the Western world, but how bad it would be to be eaten by an animal. Just partly eaten, or completely.
Well, I'll read on. He says, so they're talking about being eaten by an animal. He says, I said, if a lion was coming for me and I had a gun, I'd shoot myself in the head before it could get me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair to him, he's accepted the fact that in those split-second things, one can often make the wrong decision. It's a bit like the gold rod on Blockbuster. You know, Bob Owens always used to say, it's all very well for you sitting at home, but if you're actually on the gold rod, and I imagine if you're watching someone being attacked by a lion on video, you'd think, oh, well, don't use the gun on yourself. But when you're there, you know, oh, yes. Well, that's all very well. What's that thing you was on about food?
Oh, okay. Now, I'm quite obsessed by this, because there was a piece in the paper about people mispronouncing food words, you know, when they order stuff in restaurants.
Right.
So instead of bruschetta, they'll say bruschetta or something.
Right, okay.
And they had
Not a cardinal sin in my book.
Oh, it's quite bad for me.
Okay.
No, I was on a date with this guy, and you know that pasta that's sort of like...
Well, I can believe that.
Oh, you know that pasta that's kind of... It's called penne. You know the sort of pasta... I have to explain to you. It's called penne.
I know the one. It's like a tube.
Exactly, it's a tube. So the guy I was with... I made my order, and the guy I was with said to the waiter, can I have the pen, please? And I swear, I thought he was going to get a pen out of his pocket.
Oh,
it was
no.
awful.
I
thought, I can't go out with someone like that.
So you dumped him on the strength of one tiny mispronunciation.
I waited a week, and then I dumped him.
Sometimes people can be too good, though. I was in a cafe with a bloke, and he called the waiter up. It's an Italian place, admittedly, and he said, can we have a due cappuccini? Well, I mean, shut your face. I didn't want it after that. I could have threw it at him right into his...
I don't like it when people get words wrong, though.
No. My mum does a lot of these. My mum says halloumi cheese. She calls it halimi.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
Well,
no, why don't you just leave her alone? I mean, she's 98.
Not as bad as that bloke who said to me...
She speaks through a machine. I mean, give her a chance. Could be a fault in that. Have a look at that. Look at that keyboard.
She doesn't talk to a machine. That's
Doesn't
just her
she?
voice.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know where I got that from. I just imagine she might talk through a machine. Doesn't make her a bad person. If she did, if there's anyone listening who talks to a machine, respect to you.
She uses a telephone sometimes.
Well, there you go then.
So
don't call me a liar and then back me up in the same breath. Well, maybe not the same breath, but, well, you know what I mean. My dad used to talk about the writer Somerset Maugham instead of Somerset Maugham. And he also used to say etiquette instead of etiquette. Yeah, you could do with learning a bit of etiquette, he used to say to me. We used to laugh. We used to sit at home, sawdust on the floor, 2 or 3 bull terriers slumbering at the fireside.
And the whippet Shep.
Yeah, the whippet was called Cal.
Oh, that was Cal,
Shep was a Staffordshire bull terrier.
Oh,
I don't want to go through my entire dog list on here. I ate a dog list on morning radio.
Oh, especially if an Alsatian's involved. My worst dog. So on chic. Awful.
Yeah, common.
Oh, very
chic.
cool. Yeah.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
What else?
We've had an email, FYI, to the lady on the show getting wound up about mispronunciations.
Excuse me, don't call me a lady like that.
Dude looks like a lady. Actually, lady looks slightly like a dude.
I'm happy to look like a dude. Anyway, carry on.
In Italian, bruschetta has a hard C and is pronounced with a sk, not a sh sound. If it didn't have a h, it would be soft.
Bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
Hold on, what is this? Is this Radio 4? People are tuning in. I think, this would be the Radio 4 Italian workshop programme, which we don't normally listen to be honest, on a Saturday morning.
But I was
we're
condemning...
asking for trouble with Emily's article from The Guardian talking about mispronouncing posh foods.
And now I've been hoist. I was condemning others'
Been hoist by your own
mispronunciation.
putard.
Yeah.
Have you? I was actually once hoisted by Patrick Stewart, the man who plays Captain Peacock.
Really?
Yeah, I was at Heathrow and he come behind me, put his hand right under my crotch area, right.
Oh, Frank.
You know, he gripped. He went past the key points. He grabbed my belt buckle from behind, so his arms right under me. Imagine that, and then he stood upright, and I went whoa up in the air. Yeah, that was Patrick Stewart. He's a bit of a practical joker. I didn't fall though. I kept balance for a second there. I looked like an enormous novelty wristwatch on his arm. Yeah.
What's this black Labrador you've been going on about this morning?
Yes, well, you see, there's been a fabulous story this week. Trio, T-R-E-O, he's spelled. He's a black Labrador who was in the army. Yeah.
Well, he failed his exams. He didn't know what to do with his life.
Exactly, yeah. There's no work in his area for dogs. He applied for a job biting the forearms of burglars. Have you noticed that whenever you see those dogs being trained, they only ever bite the forearm? They have the fat forearm padded, and they run with the arm behind them in some... Like, no one ever runs like that, and the dog bites the forearm. The thing, if you ever burgle a house, just wear very, very thick gauntlets up to the elbow, and that no
You'll
dog
be
can
fine.
damage you. Anyway, yeah, so Trio was in the army, which really, if you think about it, he wasn't, you know, he obviously didn't enlist.
No, he didn't. He had no choice.
No, it was like a press gang. You know, 1 minute he's walking down the street, perhaps on the end of a homeless person's string. Next thing you know, he's in... Anyway, he's won a prize for bravery, and what he did, he went into fields in Iraq and stuff and sniffed out Taliban bombs.
Yeah. Right.
Now, I don't know if you've ever looked up the word bravery, but what it means is that knowledge of fear and then going on, right? It doesn't mean being told there's a bone in a field and going in and not finding the bone, just finding some metal stuff that's ticking. That's not bravery. That's just using dogs as just bait. They might as well just thrown them in.
Are you saying that Trio doesn't deserve the honour?
I'm saying Trio, no, in my opinion, no disrespect to the owner, but I mean, then again, the owner, obviously, how much does he love Trio when he's sending him in the bomb field? Yeah.
There's a bone over there that smells like plastic explosives.
Yes.
Go get it, boy!
I don't. I wish he brought it back. That would have. Hey, here it is. Get off, Trio! Get off! Get off! Anyway, I think there's no bravery involved, and I think Trio's medal has been taken under false pretences.
It's like those dogs that jump through the fiery hoops. I can't bear those.
I like it when you get the display teams. When you
I can't bear
when you get
that.
5 Alsatians on a motorbike.
No, but it's always Alsatians, the common dogs. That's why I don't like it.
I know, but they don't wear the helmets. You know, they risk the whole thing. 5 of them on a motorbike, and they hang out. 2 hangs out at the side, like for balance. You just see the extended paws. It's I like that. I must admit. Oh, I don't mind them going up ramps and jumping through. I think that, you know, those dogs, I don't mind giving them a medal.
They're singing for their supper.
But yeah, but not a dog that thinks it's looking for treats. I mean, I'm sorry. If there's anyone in who was moved by that story this week, you're mental. That's what I'm saying.
There'll be a further list of people who are mental later in the show.
That's all right, isn't it? And Bess, did you see that thing that Leona Lewis has got a tattoo?
Oh, yeah.
She's had a new tattoo. So apparently Leona Lewis... Hold on, I have a list of what's written here. Can I carry on, or do I have to do the adverts now? Emma?
You can carry on.
OK, thanks very much. That was
Emma had a little cameo role. She doesn't normally speak. She loved that.
I thought she was quite good, actually, because some people would have built it up, do you know what I mean? They'd have said,
I can't imagine what you mean.
Yes, Frank, why don't you continue? Like some people we won't go into. Anyway, well, I won't go into, and that's a fact. So, this is what it says. This is written down Leona Lewis's back, right? It says, their beauty captures every eye, a gift from God for all mankind. They lend us wings so we may fly. To ride a horse is to ride the sky. Now, first of all, I would say it's quite unwise for Leona Lewis to have any horse references anywhere about her body. Right? I'm just saying, why put the thought into people's minds, right? And also, it's not going to make people think she's really interesting. It's going to make people think we were right about her.
How long is...
Well, she's got a very long back.
Well, she must do.
It goes from the mane right down to a fetlock.
Frank, stop it.
Yes. If I was going to... It's a rubbish... If I was going to have it, I'd have something like... Oh, I have been to Ludlow Fair and left my necktie God knows where. forgot it was A.E. Houseman.
Can we reset it? Can someone reset that?
Sorry, everyone. What was I thinking of?
A Houseman alarm.
Absolute Radio.
Yes, but my point is, I'm obviously these dogs are saving the lives of soldiers, and that's a brilliant thing. I'd happily send 1 million dogs out to save the life of one soldier. Happily, right? I mean, there's plenty of dogs about if you need more. But they don't know they're doing it. That's my point, you see. And don't give them a medal. Give them a sweet.
Yeah.
Right? Just give them a sweet. Be happier with that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
The dog days are over now.
That was Dog Days Are Over, yeah, by Florence and the Machine. And,
Now, Frank, while I was at the BAFTAs this week, Gareth was doing something even more showbiz.
Yes. I'm married, but you can still do exciting things if you're married, you know.
I know that. Look at
Ashley Cole.
Angie Bowie. And Ashley Cole, he did very exciting. Were they exciting or were they drab in the extreme?
Yeah. We went to Winchester this week, Laura and I.
Brilliant.
And we went to...
Is that within the range of our Wiltshire missile?
Well, I don't know. I was just thinking...
There might be a bit of fallout.
You'd
there.
feel the reverberations, I'm sure.
Oh, God.
And we went to a little cafe that had lovely cakes in the window, and it was the Maison Blanc. And it was ran by Raymond Blanc.
Oh my God, I only met Mickey Rourke this week. Tell me about the chef.
Well, anyway...
I tell you what I like about Mickey Rourke. There's still a handsome man in there.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like he's had an enormous candle on the top of his head and a lot of wax has run over his features. So you can see the nice man inside, but there's all globules and lumps all over him. Anyway, get back to Raymond Blanc.
And that would have been exciting enough, just going to the cafe.
Hell yeah.
Where he was.
Wow.
But he was there.
Brilliant.
He was there, and
I wouldn't know him if he came in here now.
No, I wouldn't have.
How did you know him?
I wouldn't have known that I knew him, but when I saw him, I did know who.
I saw a nice pencil sketch of him, so I probably would have recognised him. Somebody obviously drew a Blanc.
Oh.
I'm terribly sorry, everyone. If you're listening to that, it was just a little bit of fun.
Anyway, he was there telling off the lady about the toilet in there, the waitress.
Oh, he's stropped.
This is such a glamorous anecdote. I can't believe it.
Just let me tell this story!
Go on.
Anyway, what do you think about this, right? There were some ladies, and he was being very charming, going, "Oh, you enjoy the food? Did you like it? Oh, you have a little one. Did you not have some ice cream or souffle?" I go, "No, he's not ready for that yet." Anyway, he went to talk to some old ladies, and he had had a chocolate eclair that I had, which was very nice, but he'd only eaten half of it. And he was chatting to the old ladies, and they were saying something, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, I have only eaten half of this chocolate eclair. You can have the other half."
He said to you?
No, to the old ladies. And he gave the old ladies the other half of his chocolate eclair.
Oh, and did they eat it?
Yeah.
I suppose if you're very old, what you got to lose? It's a sort of chocolate eclair Russian roulette they were playing.
Or maybe they'd had enough, and he's like, "I know what will kill you. I've got half a chocolate eclair over there."
What a very benevolent, big-hearted man Raymond Blanc is. I might go around his shop hoping for the on the off chance for half a cake with his terrible spit and teeth marks on it. I look forward to that. Anyway, Ben Miller is our guest today. He's on After the News.
I love him.
Oh, he's great, Ben Miller. Fabulous.
Absolute Radio.
What about the Gordon Brown thing? What do we think about that? Apparently, he's got a bit of a temper on him.
He had what they call in the business a little shouty screamy.
Yeah, but I think that's all right, isn't he? I like.
Well,
the
yeah,
idea.
we know you think that's all right.
Well.
But when I heard that helpline had things, the bullying helpline had calls from number 10 Downing Street office, I assumed it was from him. I assumed he was complaining about everyone in the country bullying him.
Yeah. Well, I thought what they need to sort out, the National Bullying Helpline, is they need to put in an anti or a stop or something in their title. Apparently they have loads of bullies phone up and say, can you give me any tips on demanding dinner money with menaces? And somebody asked for a fact sheet on the Chinese burn. So they need to sort the title out. That big fat ginger woman who runs that.
The big fat ginger woman. Yes, we've said it twice now, so what?
Big fat ginger woman. Hold on, big fat ginger woman who wears glasses and is called Pratt. So she'll know about being bullied, if anyone does.
with very badly dyed hair. She is represented by, guess who she's represented by? Our favourite friend of the show.
Is it? Max Clifford.
It is.
Oh, good.
Things
One day
Cliffordian.
I'm going to phone him up and ask him to represent me, even though I'm not in any sort of career crisis. I'll say I'm going out for dinner. Would you mind representing me this evening? When I'm in the restaurant, go around saying to people, look at that bloke over there, he's great.
But the trouble is, as soon as he represents you, it's just so damning. He needs to get one good client, like the Dalai Lama. That's all he needs. And then people will actually think, oh, maybe he's not so bad. That's what I think.
I feel if he represented the Dalai Lama, in no time at all he'd be involved in a sex scandal. I think it's a bit chicken and egg with Max. I think, you can start with the crisis, or he'll happily take you to one if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, people either stand by him looking ashamed because of what they've done, or ashamed because they're standing next to Max Clifford.
Or ashamed because he's wearing the leather jacket.
Yeah.
Well, you say leather, I say leather, suede, and some sort of knit.
I say pleather.
Do you?
Yeah.
Leather.
That's a problem you've got. Has anyone ever, also, has any news programme ever phoned Max Clifford and said, can you come and give a comment on this? And he said, no, I'm a bit busy. Also, it's not a big enough job for me. Has he ever said that? Get a comment, anything. Get a comment. He was on the telly the other day talking about the Titanic. That doesn't make any sense. But I like the fact that Gordon Brown, one of the things he did, there'd been meetings and an official would start talking and he'd just walk out. He'd just stand up and walk out in the middle of it without saying anything. That's brilliant, isn't it?
And apparently he used to jab the front seat very hard with his black pen, leaving marks all over it because he got so angry when things didn't go his way.
Yeah, because he'd sit behind the passenger seat and he used to jab, but that's all right.
I imagine
We've all
that
done
couch
that.
is completely black now. That cream colour.
Well, he's under a lot of stress because he used to eat like 8 Kit Kats a day, Gordon Brown.
Oh, did he?
And he felt it was affecting his weight, which I
That's
suppose
kittens.
It would.
Kittens. Yeah.
I don't think he did that. And so he switched to bananas. He switched to 8 bananas as a substitute, and it's no substitute. I don't know if you've ever tried doing that crack thing with a banana when you break it in 2 halves. The sound is very unsatisfying.
What you can do with a banana, though, is if you sort of...
Hold on a minute. Let me just check this before you say it. What's you going to do?
No, if you squeeze
okay.
it, you can actually squeeze it, and it will break into 3 sections.
That's rubbish.
It is true.
That is absolutely
Bring me a
not
banana.
true. No, that's not true.
Bring me a banana!
I think you're thinking of a beetle. A banana will split into 3. I've never heard such nonsense in all my life. We'll be back. We'll be back with Ben Miller afterwards, which I'm very excited about.
He knows about physics and things. He can tell us about the banana.
He'll tell us if a banana can split into 3. Then you'll be hoisted by your own banana. And I don't know if... that happened to me once on
Patrick Stewart
Alton
again.
Towers. It was an accident. I nearly choked.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
Ben Miller has joined us.
Good morning.
It is Ben Miller. Miller. Yeah, fantastic. Great to see you. And then I think you're one of our first return guests.
I was,
actually.
yeah. I think it must be nearly exactly a year ago that I
Well,
came
2
on.
weeks ago is our first anniversary of
there we
a
go.
radio show.
go.
What
Yeah,
about
yeah.
The future.
2 weeks?
Can
not
I
2
just say,
weeks
Ben,
ago,
it's
2
nice
weeks
that you always look
to
so
go.
smart. Some guests don't make an effort. It's true.
Yeah, but I think
I was accused of having come straight from a club.
you've got that look about you. You've got your wild eye. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's not at all. This is my chosen, set of classics for the day.
So the
My
last
shoes are slightly orthopaedic. I'm glad you can
Are
see
they?
that.
I can't see that from here. Are they? Did you get them on prescription?
Yeah, they are. They just look like.
Oh, they're just a classic brogue, Ben. Nothing wrong with those.
they're all right.
I think like if I had a walking stick, it might have one of those big rubber things on the end. It looks.
I think they look like sort of a period drama, something from maybe from the 20s, or a bit like.
Social aficionado.
I think you could have worn them.
When the wood comes in.
Exactly. I think that you could have been in those shoes. So last time you were on, you were plugging
everything.
moving wallpaper, which
That's
you
right, which is
slagged
a
off on
disaster.
Morse, which has gone. Primal, you.
That was a disaster. That's been cut
Primeval.
axe to.
Primeval, that's
Yeah.
you killed that off. You slagged that off, and you also slagged off Horn and Corden.
Yeah,
and
and they-
1 out of 2 ain't bad. And I imagine Heart Trouble will get the other one eventually. So I
don't
you're on a
believe
good
I
run.
slagged off Horncon. That cannot be true.
Well,
You
I
started a beef with them. You definitely did.
started a beef.
Oh, that's
Well,
no,
I know
that's
did
right,
most
'cause
of that.
James Corden had called one of his characters Xander. That was it.
That was it.
It was some dig about you being posh, is what it was.
And you-
I'm sick of it. I'm
And
sick
you
of
said if you ever saw them, you were going to blap them up proper.
Exactly
They were
what he
gonna be
said.
Sorry.
I remember that.
I think James Corden is very, very funny, and Matthew Horn is. I was in the Catherine Tate special with Matthew Horn, and I just thought
There
he's
was a
fantastic.
bit of tension in
No,
there.
no, he's really
Did you bring it up?
they're
Did you
really
bring up the
funny.
character?
I will not have this feud.
Okay,
Damn.
quite right.
Oh, so it is a feud then.
I never, did I use the
Ben.
word feud? I don't think so. So you and Xander Armstrong. Let's call him Alexander because not everyone else is in the know, you know.
Call him Xander, Frank.
Okay.
Oh, Xander's much nicer.
Xander.
Call him Xander. You and Xander. Oh, you and Xander Armstrong. If I start talking past her, I start to slur. You and Xander Armstrong going on char. You see, and people don't like that. They tune in, they think, hold on, this sounds
I
like...
think you are sort of you're there's a resistance in you. I can tell.
Yeah, I don't want people to
say-
think they've accidentally tuned into Kiss FM, where all the presenters talk like that, I find. So you're going on tour, you two?
We are going to tour in the autumn. Very exciting.
We mentioned
all
it
over the
now
country,
because
Ireland, Scotland.
tickets have just gone on sale, haven't
Tickets
they?
just
So
gone on
people
sale.
should,
Very thrilling.
Is
And
this
I
your
think we're doing
first-
about 50 days. First time we've been on tour. It's all quite scary. I mean, also the hard thing. I think the very difficult to do sketch comedy live as well because sketch comedy is like a TV thing. So we're also having to
Yeah,
work
you want
really hard.
close-ups and stuff and all that.
Yeah, I know. It's working really hard to try and work out how to make it like a live event, you know, and involve the audience a bit more than some of the. I think that you can't just take your TV sketches and just stick them straight on the stage. I think that's
Oh, you
that's what we'd like to do.
Have you not seen The Little Britain? Oh, well, I'd be exciting to see what you do with it then, if
I
you're
think
going to
it's
make it
gonna be fun.
interactive.
Yeah, we're working with Sean Foley, you know, who did that play, What I Wrote, and was in the right size, and he's brilliant at doing all this interaction with the audience and stuff. And yeah, it's really
So it's not
exciting.
written yet?
We're writing it now. Yeah,
Okay.
we're writing it now.
Scary
so
that it's selling really well and it doesn't exist yet.
I know. I know.
It's like Enron. Yeah, it's like if anything.
It's like contracts for difference, isn't it? Or whatever they do in the city. I mean, yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know what that
it's
is.
It's false
That
economy.
sounds
It's like
like-
a false economy. People buying and selling things that don't exist.
Yes, well, I know you've worried everyone, but I'm sure it will exist, and we'll come back to find more about
But
that.
you'll know, Frank, no show exists when they're selling the tickets. I mean,
No,
that's the
my
truth.
view is that no show exists. Discuss.
Absolute.
Radio.
Have you got a banana yet, Gareth?
Yeah, I've got banana here.
Okay, don't.
Are we doing
Just
an experiment?
Bear with it. Not just yet.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you got your equipment. Now, the last time... This is how show business works, isn't it, Ben? Last
Yeah.
time you was on, you said to me after, I'm making a film, do you want to be in it? And I said, yeah. And it all happened.
Yeah. What are the chances it actually happened?
Yeah, I went along, we filmed it, and it's coming out this year.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was about stand-up comedy, and there was that scene where I think you're chatting to Kevin Bishop in there. You're very prominently featured.
Am I? Oh, I'm very
Yeah, yeah,
touched.
yeah.
Oh, no, he's
Well,
going to be
that's obviously- That's why I
insufferable.
brought this up. In case if I'd ended up on the cutting room floor, I haven't done that since I stopped drinking. So the film it's called Huge.
It's called Huge.
That's
About
tempting fate, that is. Isn't
It
it?
is, yeah. It's a bit.
Why didn't you call it massively successful? 5 stars, The Guardian.
Yeah, enormous potential. It's called. Yeah. It's basically it's about these two guys who want to get into stand-up comedy, and it's about that whole world, that cold, hard, seamy underworld that you.
Yeah.
You
What
managed
really
to
You inhabit,
to fight your
I
way up
rose
through
above.
You created.
to this airy blue light, wonderful showbiz
Indeed.
nirvana we find ourselves in.
Indeed.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's the really hard. It's the cold face of comedy. I think it's the kind of really hard. It's something I tried to do myself. I tried to do stand-up myself, and I just found it impossibly difficult. And it's kind of about how impossible it is to get started, really.
But and when I went there to do this, because I wouldn't even call mine a cameo. I'm an extra. Is what I am. I'd
Hardly.
say I'm Atmos.
Hardly.
But when I got there, Ben, honestly, he's got the full director thing. He's got the
has
headphones
he?
around the neck, and he's saying, "Oh, Dave, give me that." And he's looking through the little. He's holding his hands in the form
he's
of a
not.
rectangle and saying, "Yeah." I mean, really proper directing.
Is he wearing, Frank? Is he wearing a North Face puffer jacket?
No, he's wearing just one of those peaks on an elastic.
It is horrific.
Or was it a chihuahua? It was one of the two.
It is horrific what you turn into when you're directing a film.
Yeah, you were very bossy on
It was
the day.
very, very bossy. And one day I actually turned up and I felt quite uncomfortable in my shorts, and I made the cameraman take his trousers off and give them to him.
Frankie Howard used to do that, apparently. Did you really?
I really did. No, I absolutely did. You just sort of think you can do anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, power. It's just corrupting. It is corrupting.
So that'll be out later this year. I'm very much looking forward. But you're not in it. Do you do a
I'm not in
cameo?
it. No, I mean, I've got I say one word in it. But
Is it cot? And that shouldn't have been left in, but there's a bit of a mix-up at the end. I hate it when that happens.
I got one word in it. But Simon, who plays a character in it, Simon, who co-wrote it, Simon Godley.
Simon Godley was my dentist.
He's your dentist.
Yeah, my dentist co-wrote it. Yeah.
Everyone that works with Frank has got some kind of talent.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, even Gareth. I mean, Gareth, you auditioned or something.
I thought
didn't
you were
you?
going to be in
I
it.
sent Gareth the script, and Gareth gave me loads of notes on the script, which really helped, actually.
Well,
Made
cheeky.
loads of changes.
How dare you?
I wasn't in it.
You weren't in it.
Oh.
How come you sent him
Well,
the
you
script
said-
then?
Because we got
We met
chatting,
here,
and he was
didn't we? Yeah.
interested, and, he
You know,
done
I've
stand
got
up.
to
So,
tell you.
you know,
I've got to tell you, Ben. Gareth did think he was going to be in it.
well, you could have been in it. Why didn't you come and be
well,
in
no,
it?
at the thing, because the last email you said, "Oh, thanks for the notes," and yeah, you should be. Would you like a part in it? And
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I don't know if I'd be convincing as a comedian, as a joke, but I think you thought I meant it." Did you?
Well,
oh well,
you
no,
said
he
that.
can't act.
Oh no! So
That's-
ever since you've been thinking,
Well, you know,
could-
I don't
could have
harbour a
asked me.
grudge.
Could have bloody asked me.
You see, that's what careers hang on. That's the danger of sarcasm.
That could have been it, couldn't it? That could have been.
Especially in a text or email
Made all the difference
sarcasm.
in this industry.
No. Apparently Hitler didn't mean invade Poland. He went, "Oh, let's invade Poland, why don't we?" And next thing you know, the whole thing, oh, man.
Absolute Radio.
So, I'm going to ask you this if I don't know. What are you doing today with your
Today,
time?
Frank, I'm going to the Brighton Science Festival. I'm very excited. I really, really love science. I did a degree in physics. I started a PhD in physics, and I've always really been interested in it. I've never been to a science festival, and they're becoming very popular. You know, there's the Cheltenham Science Festival, the Brighton Science Festival. Struggling now because I can't think of any others, but I think there's one or two more, and it's a kind of new sort of phenomenon. Science is kind of becoming a little bit more.
Cool, hasn't
It's
it?
the new rock and roll. Is it the new rock and roll?
When you say festival, Ben, is it like Latitude or one of those? Do you have a little tent?
Brighton! Yeah. And then like, when they come on stage, there's like two Bunsen burners lighting either side.
Yeah, I sort of body surf across
Some
the crowd.
magnesium explosion.
But
I
it
think
has
it's probably not quite like that yet, but maybe give it a few years. Give it a few years.
Well,
Get
it's
a bit
really.
ahead of- ahead of
I don't
steam.
know what's happened with science because it used to be like for dull. A
Yeah.
dull thing for dull people, if you don't mind me saying.
If I ever mentioned, well, if I was in the, you know, in I was going to say in the pub. When did I last go in the pub?
Well, in a wine bar, say. In a bistro.
You're in a restaurant.
So that you'll understand, I'll say pub.
I love it. It's such a, you know, he can do
Down
man
to
of the
earth.
people if he wants to.
I really can. I really understand. In your life, it would be a pub. But last time I was in a pub and mentioned science, I used to get it was like 5 years ago. I used to get literally shouted down by, oh come on, let's talk about something interesting.
Well, if you
And
will
now-
try and make presentations in a pub,
now, when I get the whiteboard markers,
Now it's cool. In fact, you
Now
even
it's cool.
you write in Eureka, don't you? Which
I
is
do,
the-
yes.
that
Yeah, well, we
supplement in the
share
Times.
a
Yes,
little
we both-
corner of the fourth estate, don't we?
We both
Yes.
work for the Times.
Yes.
What about who'd have thought that? For the London
Who'd have thought?
Times.
I don't know whether we've gone up or they've come down, but I
Well,
think that, you know.
the times they are changing.
Well, I don't think anyone could argue with that.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
thanks, Bob, for that.
Absolutely.
So, if you want to see, will there be tickets available on the door at the Brighton Science Festival?
I imagine anybody,
imagine there will as
anybody
well.
shows any interest whatsoever is
I imagine
extremely welcome.
There isn't a door. I imagine people are wandering out.
I imagine there's no security system
You'll be
whatsoever.
able to
No.
get them from the touts if they're not available.
Yeah, that'll be it, yeah. But once the ammonium hydroxide goes off, everyone's crying. That'll be terrible. What worries me about it, Ben, and I don't want to drag this down, is why is it that everyone now is interested in science, which is very cool?
Yeah.
Why do they have to be atheists? Why can't they marry
don't
the
make
two?
it all heavy. Well, always laugh
have to do
here.
that.
But they don't,
To be
Frank.
smarmy with it.
No, they don't.
Smarmy atheists.
No, they don't. It's just one scientist. It's just Richard Dawkins.
Well,
That's
I
all
think
it
they're
is.
all the
Well,
same.
yeah.
Everyone I talk to
No,
says,
science.
"Oh,
No,
Darwin.
No,
Darwin.
I love a scientist.
Darwin,
though.
if you look at a picture of Darwin, he looks like a chimpanzee. His eyes look exactly like a
Right.
chimpanzee's eyes.
mean he was cheating?
He's looked in the mirror. He's put 2 and 2 together and got 5. That's what he's done.
Well,
Anyway.
you know, I mean, that's a very interesting... I mean, that's a fascinating subject. And I think the thing that people forget is that Darwinism is a scientific theory just like anything else. It's not necessarily true. It's just a theory that we have
gravity.
of how... yeah, like gravity. I mean, gravity's not true in the sense...
Oh, wait. What?
Yeah. Well,
Does that mean I could possibly levitate? No, I've been working. I've actually...
Ben, tell him
it is
about
my
levitation. He
ambition
won't
to
listen.
levitate.
Is that your ambition?
Yeah.
It's not really an ambition, is it? It's a fantasy.
I'll do it.
And what are you doing to achieve this?
Well, I stand on my very, very tiptoes and stop breathing and see what happens. No, I honestly tried it last week.
Yeah.
I genuinely tried it. It feels like it could happen.
It feels like it could work. Were you in a class, or was this something you just did on your own?
No, I was in a spaceship. No, I lied about that bit. You know me, I'll pull your leg
He's
if I
come
get
on
the
here
chance.
to plug his things. He's not
But
some
what I'm
science
saying
agony
is that
on.
I think that one of the really interesting things about science and the way it gets treated is it gets treated as if it were true, but these things are theories, they're mathematical theories. And they're theories that have so far satisfied experiment. It doesn't mean that they are real. You know, they're just theories.
I don't think we're going to top that.
Oh, he's so clever.
Good looking and clever.
I
and
know.
funny, eh? Isn't it
Lock
incredible?
the studio door immediately.
Oh God, we better go and have a talk somewhere, Gareth, and leave them to it. Okay, well look, it was fantastic having you on, Ben.
Lovely to
Tickets
see
for
you.
your tour are on sale now.
Thank you. Yes.
Aren't they?
Yeah, particularly in Scotland. Not the
Particularly
business
in
has been
Scotland.
slow there.
Okay,
But
I
Scotland.
understand.
Yeah.
Perhaps you better push in the science there. They like that. Burke and Hare, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, so it's been great having you on, and good luck with the movie, and good luck with the 10 million other things you do.
Thank you. Brilliant. See you in a year.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. You are so much a friend of the show, I can't tell you.
Do your big go.
Oh, I just
What are
put
you
my shoe,
doing?
put my shoe on.
Oh, that's
That's all
professional.
right, isn't it? I just made the big mistake of going to the gentleman's toilet in my stocking feet. Never do that.
Stockings. feet.
Never do that. Yes. So, what else? So Ben Miller, he's good, isn't he?
Oh, he's lovely.
We love him.
He could stay.
I'm overwhelmed.
He can stay. He's. I tell you what he is. Friend of the show. That's what he is. He was actually. I did a thing this week called Frank Skinner's Film Epiphany. Google it. And it was at the British Film Institute, and what you have to do is celebrities, people who are quite well known, they have to pick a film that's had a major influence on them. Well, obviously a lot of them we couldn't show in a public place.
Well,
but,
exactly.
But there was a film called Lenny with Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, is that about the lead singer of Motorhead?
Lenny,
Oh, okay.
two N's,
I'm just
yes.
checking.
And it's the Lenny Kravitz biopic. No, it's about Lenny Bruce, the American comic. So I did that this week, and Ben Miller was in the crowd, actually.
Was he?
And said to me after that was a great movie, which was a great release for me, because it's very, very tense. I was happy doing the little intro chat and talking about why the film meant a lot to me and stuff. But when the film started and I'm sitting there with 300 people, you know when there's a film you recommend to someone and then you watch it with them and then you think they don't like it, they're not liking it.
Oh, I hate
and you start
that.
to panic, you think I'll just switch it off. I've been known to just stand up and go, oh, just forget it then, switch it off. My worst thing is if I watch me with someone else. And sometimes they might say, "Oh, what I don't understand," and I think they're going to miss a joke. If they keep talking, they're going to miss a joke. I have to wrestle them to the ground. I'm terrible. But anyway, so it all went rather well. People, and at the end of it, people applauded. And I thought,
isn't that nice?
are they applauding the film, or maybe they're applauding my taste?
Oh, you went a bit egomaniac.
I did a bit. I'm worried. I haven't seen Ben Jones usually sits the other side of the window at this point, and he's not here today.
Do you think he heard what we were saying about him?
I think he's...
Well, don't say you upset him like it was just Frank. It was all of us. Collective responsibility, mate.
I think perhaps he's at the Old Bailey today. I think there's a big trial on there he's had to deal with. He might just be in a local assizes. I mean, you know... He'll do all the variety.
I had a run-in with Dustin Hoffman this week, actually. Talking of Dustin...
hold on. You had a run-in with Dustin Hoffman?
Well, it wasn't directly with him. You know, I went to the BAFTAs. I don't know if you know
He didn't cut you up in his... Because I've heard that he's an excellent driver.
Cut you up.
I was at the BAFTAs, and when someone bangs into me, I have a tendency... I don't just let it slide. I go, ow!
Yeah, I know.
Like that. Have you noticed that? Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that before.
So this woman banged into me with her bulging goodie bag from the BAFTAs.
I've heard some names for it. Goodness. Carry on.
And she banged right into my arm, and I went, ow! And then she turned round, and then I realised it was Dustin Hoffman's wife. But it was too late. I'd already said ow. And she went, oh, I'm sorry. And then Dustin looked all concerned, and it was awful. So, of course, I was completely phony. I went, oh, don't worry.
Of course.
Because I wanted to keep in with Dustin.
Dustin looked a bit grumpy on the show, I thought.
That's why. Because of me, maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
What?
Is his wife... I imagine his wife's one of those women that's about 2 feet taller than him. Is that right?
No, she's very well preserved, though.
What, with embalmment?
Is she a tiny mummy?
Yeah, that's an old Ma Hoffman, that's what they call her.
Look at this banana. Right, look.
Yeah.
Look how I've squeezed it and it has been separated into 3 bits. Like that.
No. You squeeze it and then you put your finger down the 3 separate things and opened it.
3 sections.
Oh, I suggest you get to Brighton, to the Science Festival, and see what kind of response you
I'm
get
going there
my
now.
friend. Yes. I wouldn't go there. You can say what you like about science. It's maths in fancy dress. Just remember that. You buy a science book, you read the foreword, you think, oh, this sounds really exciting. It's about the universe. We're all made of stardust. Chapter 1, maths. Don't bother. Oh, good day to you.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.